Welcome back to our final round here on KD Quiz, brought to you by GBU Life. It's a round we call More or Less. We have 2 sets of clues for each team. In each set of clues, there are 3 clues available. And after the first clue, if they're able to provide us an answer, they get 30 points. However, if they get it wrong after the first clue, they lose 30 points. There's a second clue available. That drops the points value down to 20. 20 points if they get it right, 20 off if they get it wrong. And they can take a third and final clue. That drops the points value down to 10. 10 points if they get it right. 10 points is deducted if they get it wrong or fail to answer after the third clue. Again, there are 2 sets of those clues. And if a team is able to answer both sets of clues at their 30-point value, we give you a 25-point bonus. So there is the ability to gain 85 points in this round, but there's also the ability to lose 60 in this round. And that's why More or Less is going to be the big decider today. Up first is our team from Chartiers-Houston High School. And Chartiers-Houston, here is your first set of clues, starting with the 30-point value. The legs of these animals are impossibly positioned in a painting by Theodore Géricault. Would you like to give us that animal for 30 points or take a second clue for 20?
We'll take the second clue.
For 20 points. One of these animals was photographed for a study called Animal Locomotion by Edward Muybridge. Would you like to provide an answer for 20 or take a third clue for 10?
We'll take the third clue.
Third and final clue. What animals are depicted in equestrian statues such as Frederick Remington's The Bronco Buster?
Horses.
Horses. You just gained 10 points. And your second set of clues, starting with the 30-point value. Born March 14th, 1879, in Ulm, Germany, he began taking violin lessons at age 6 and said that he would have become a musician if he hadn't become a scientist. Who is this person for 30 points, or would you like to take a second clue for 20?
Einstein.
Einstein is correct. Very nicely done. You gained 30 points there. You got 10 points on the first one. That means you added 40 points to your score, and that takes you for the day up to 185. Up next is our team from Norwin High School. And Norwin, here is your first set of clues, starting with the 30-point value clue. This country's Guri Dam provides most of its hydroelectric power. Would you like to give us that country for 30 points or take a second clue for 20?
Can we have the second clue?
For 20 points. The Orinoco River flows into the Atlantic Ocean in this country, which contains Lake Maracaibo. Would you like to answer for 20 points or take a third clue for 10?
Can we have the third clue?
Third and final clue. Name this South American country whose capital is Caracas.
Venezuela.
Venezuela is correct. You just added 10 points to your score. Up next, here is your second set of clues, starting with the 30-point value. This figure from Greek mythology ordered his wife, Merope, to throw his corpse into the middle of a public square after he died. Who is this figure for 30 points? Or would you like to take a second clue for 20?
Can we have the second clue?
For 20 points. The king of Ephyra, who inspired the title of an Albert Camus work, tied Thanatos in his own chains to cheat death. Would you like to answer for 20 points or take a third clue for 10?
Kronos.
Cronus is a great guess. However, we were looking for Sisyphus on this one. You got 10 on the first one. You lost 20 on the second one. That's a net of minus 10, and that takes your final score for the day to 270 points. Finally up, we have our team from Avella High School. And Avella, here is your first set of clues, starting with the 30-point clue. It stretches across 15 northern provinces from Bohai Sea in the east to the Gobi Desert. What are we looking for 30 points? Or would you like to take a second clue for 20?
We'll take the second clue.
For 20 points. It's a series of fortifications built in as a wartime defense. More than 1 million soldiers, commoners, prisoners, and animals were recruited to help build it. Would you like to answer for 20 points or take a third clue for 10?
Great Wall of China.
Great Wall of China is correct. You just added 20 points to your score. And finally, here is your second set of clues, starting with the 30-point value clue. This poem's narrator talks with St. Peter, St. James, and St. John after leaving the Spear of Saturn. Would you like to tell us the poem for 30 points or take a second clue for 20?
Second clue.
For 20 points. This poem's narrator is guided to the Empyrean by Beatrice and through 9 circles by Virgil. Would you like to tell us the poem for 20 points or take a third clue for 10?
We'll do the 10.
For 10 points, A Journey Through Heaven is chronicled in a section of what long poem by Dante?
Dante's Inferno.
Great guess, but we were looking for the Divine Comedy. So you lost 10 points there. You gained 20 on the first one. That gives you a net of 10 points, taking you to 300 for the day, and that is enough to be this week's winner. Great competition by Norwin and Chartiers-Houston, but this week it was Avella. We will see them later on this season in the playoffs, and we will see you next time for another great matchup here on Katie Quiz, brought to you by GBU Life.